Kanishta, you've got to be equipped and have all the credentials to know how to Kanishta Madam. Isn't it? This is got common sense. But so many people I talk to come in the bookworm, and so many people I meet in the street, I say this, where are we at? We have to understand where we're at. And if you don't understand where you're at, if you don't know if you're Kanishta Madam, or Kanishta or Madam Kanishta. So if you don't know where you're at, be for sure, understand your Kanishta. Kanishta is people, places and things. There's the relative and absolute. The absolute is Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. So this Lokya Shraddha, this is Maya, this people, places and things, this is materialistic Shraddha. We want to come to Shastriya Shraddha. So it's like the relative and the absolute always come to fire. So when they come to fire, we should have Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, which is the absolute. I say this, but you've got to keep hearing this. This is the most important thing. Like in every page I say, in the Bhagavad Gita, Swami Prabhupada said, Krishna is the Supreme Personality. You've got to understand. If you don't understand where you're at, if you're Kanishta Madam, then where you at, what you doing, you're just like a dog chasing his tail. You've got to understand and make progress on this path. So I said, the relative and the absolute always come to fire. So when they fight, always choose the absolute, which is Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. Sastra, Sadhu, Sangha, not Lokya, Shraddha, which is people, places and things. My mum, my dad, my brother, my money, my sister, so many different things. This is material. Understand, when we first come to spiritual life, we have to understand we're not the body. This is the first understanding, but people over-jump that understanding that we're not the body. If you're not the body, you're Jiva Shrupahoy, Krishna Jadash, your soul, isn't it? So we should understand that we want to be in our fruit. We're coming here like a flower's budding, and you don't want to always keep it budding, and we want to make it blossom, isn't it? So we want to be in our fruit. We want fruit cities. So if you're going in the body-to-body relationships, the relative situation, how are you going to come into your fruit? Your goal should be for your soul to manifest, which is called your Nitya Siddha Bhav. Nitya eternal Bhav, not your temporary Bhav. Now, if you're too involved with Ila's money, mummy, Iman and daddy, they're going to send me money doing that, you're never going to cross that bridge, go across that bridge forever in time, across the bridge forever, around the corner, that's it, around the corner in time. So you have to have this Shraddha. But you've got Lokya Shraddha, people, places and things. So mummy send me money, daddy send me money, and you're not got Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Krishna says in Shastra, I'm your protector, I'm your maintainer, I'm your object of love. So why not you've got faith in Shastra that Krishna will send you money in some situations. So therefore, this is the dangerous situation. Then you'll keep associating with Maya. Always say, Maya, I'm Haya. You want to be in illusion, confusion. Oh, you're my daughter, you're my son, you're my husband, you're my wife, you're my children. This is an illusion. But people are sentimental, more mental and senti. This is unpalatable truth, but this is the Shastra. This is not what I am saying, the Shastra, but I like to keep a tight vessel on Shastra. What we say, we still understand, hear the philosophy where it is, and that's great, and there's no problem, to our capacity, we apply ourselves, but don't mess about with the philosophy. Keep the philosophy high, and then, what you need to do, you have to do, but that's the situation. So like I said before, all the time, you see this baby, which is a strong point in the Ashram or in the world, a nice little baby, who's just a nice little girl up in pink, all nice, he looks pretty, a nice little boy, he has his Tommy Gun shirt or something like that. Oh, my children, this is the cemental situation, and we see the baby, which I always say, oh, nice baby, when you have the baby, this, that. And it's an illusion, you know, it ain't a baby, there's a soul inside that. But then you're thinking about the baby, you're not thinking about Krishna, demoniac policy. This seems some strong, it is probably one of the strongest quotes you can say. But then Krishna says, the soul got no mom, no dad, no brother, no baby. It's an illusion. Then you're thinking of that baby and not Krishna. But that baby girl, or whether boy, say baby girl 15 months ago was an old man, he thought of his wife, or he thought some nasty situation, then he died, then he became a little baby girl, which is okay. But he's not a baby girl. And you know, like some ladies, they think they get a rough time, you know, when you think, oh, the ladies in a lower situation. The statute says ladies should be looked after by the father, the husband, son. And we feel like that. But ladies in a good situation, because if she's a devotee, she leaves her body, she's going to be fully thinking her husband, and then she'll be born back a man. The man thinking his wife is going to be born back a lady. But when you think like that, the Shastra says, not I'm saying, but when you look at it, if you're a bunch, you're not a lady. Huh? I'm not a man. I'm Jiva Subha and Nitya. So someone has to go to me, oh, you're chariot, this, you're that, you're doing this, that. Well, and I get unsettled. What's the matter? He's on the body consciousness. He thinks I'm the body. I'm not the body, I'm soul. So I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I've been a woman, I've been a man, I've been a snake, I've been a rat. So many situations. Krishna's put me in this situation. It's the best situation now if I'm in a lady's situation to progress in my spiritual life. There's Krishna. So why I worry what other people say? That's why I said there, it comes back and it's all fitting in. You don't worry what people say. Whether they like you or not, or say that. Probably he says, this is not our food stuff. This is not our food stuff where people like you or don't like you. Because this is only their sense gratification. If you're helping them, they like you. If you don't help, they don't like you. So this is a situation to become more deeper. We have to become very deep and very solid. Otherwise, we get these negative things will come to us, you know. First of all, we might look at someone and we portray him with our imperfect senses that you don't know his background. You don't know where he's going. You don't know the situation. And then you criticize that person. You find fault with that person in his mind. Then you've got a dark period on your background. You've made an apparat, offense to that devotee. He may be a Madhyamani, you've offended that devotee, and you will not progress in your spiritual life until you get that dark wave out of the way and you go and pay obeisance to that person and say, I'm sorry, I made some offense, and then everything will clear, because that will all stay. And if you've got that nature of offending people, what is my nature? Am I arguing with people? Then all around you've got 1 offense, 2 offense, 3 offense, 4 offense, 5 offense. Then you wonder why you go away. And what is my nature? Am I Tanana please? Huh? Am I thinking I'm the lowest of the low? This is the most important situation. So learning spiritual, we have to go deeper in our background. You understand English? You understand English? So this is situation. We have to go deeper, deeper. Most important situation. What is our process? Shraddha. Faith. We come here by faith. We get a book, or through Prabhupada or situation, we get a book. Then the next step is sadhu sangha, isn't it? Shraddha, sadhu sangha. You understand? Sadhu sangha. Association with devotees. You understand my language or no understand? No? Yeah. So sadhu sangha. So what is sadhu sangha? There's 3 types of devotees. Kanishkarikari, Madhyamarikari, Uttamarikari. Is sadhu sangha with Kanishkarikari? 3 types, Adi devotee, Adi. He's got 4 defects: subject illusion, commit states, imperfect senses, cheating propensity in his heart. Is this sadhu sangha? No. This is not sadhu sangha, this is Kanishkarikari. The Madhyamarikari. Madhyamarikari, we're going to that level. If he's under anigati of guidance of a Vaishnava or Uttamarikari, something is there. That is good. But we have to, when it says Shraddha, sadhu sangha means Uttamarikari, a pure devotee from spiritual world. This is sadhu sangha. Prabhupada, sadhu sangha, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, we go back 200 years, coming along in this line. Naimas, Govind Mas, Vaishnavas there. Otherwise, the Vaishnava pride, you're a Vas. But in Srimad Bhagavatam 5:26, it says, until we can find someone transcendental to these defects, you should not accept the vice and become victim of material conditions. Because they're on the material level. They haven't overcome the 4 defects. So everything they say will put that. So everything they do will be incorrect. Understand? That's why you're not seeing so many things blossom, so many devotees coming, so many situations. Prabhupada says in the first page of Bhagavad Gita, this is to understand, you should understand and read this verse. It says, one should scrutinizely learn this Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a devotee. Who's a devotee? A devotee is a conditioned soul, it's impurified. So if you're purified, that means you're chanting Sudhana. Then you're seeing Krishna. That means purified. If you're not purified, then you're conditioned soul. Especially if you're Kanishadikari, nearby devotee, this is situation. This is some unpalatable. This is the truth, though. You must look. So how you learn? Who's your master? Who's the preceptor from the spiritual world? Physically present. He must be physically present. Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada cannot give you Krishna Prema. Nine Maharaj cannot give you Krishna Prema. Govinda Maharaj cannot give you Krishna Prema. Why? With the God. How do you go? Here you can pray, but all the Shastra says you must be with the devotee physically present, and you must hear his guitar. This is a process of hearing. You've got to hear what you want to hear. Material vibration. Material vibration. Vrindavan Das Thakur says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, no one ever developed Krishna consciousness with this material vibration. Because this material vibration is surcharged with competition. It's material sound. Bhaktivedanta Keshav says, Swami Prabhupada's Sannyas Guru, that this material sound vibration, it comes from the material universe. It comes here to put you in trouble, to take you to hell. Isn't it? So that's why we've got spiritual sound. So if you're hearing from a Kanishadikari, what you hear? You're not hearing spiritual sound, you're hearing the anarthas and so many things. This is unpalatable truth. But this is the truth. This is Siddhanta, this is philosophy. So hearing is the most important thing. And if you want your real progress in spiritual life, you must be very careful of your association. Institution, sectarianism is enemy of Bhakti. Institution don't give you Krishna Prema. That no way. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that. You get Bhakti Prema from a Premi Bhakta. He's tied up Krishna with a rope of love. He's got God in his heart. Like Prabhupada, he's beautiful. Very rare. And you cannot become a Premi Bhakta. So do my guru, like my guru, Govinda, pure Vaishnava. And then, and then I think, I can become pure. No, it takes a minimum of 3 births. If you understand Shastra, Srila Vishnu Kaviraj Thakur says in, what do you say? I forget. Well, anyway, he says, praying back to you. Anyway, he says that it takes minimum 3 births. This birth, if we're lucky, you can come to the level of Bhava. If you're lucky. But really, that ain't gonna happen. But that can happen. That can happen. Then the next birth, you're born in a womb of a gopi. Second birth. Then where Krishna's having his pastimes in Kali Yuga, Satyuga, Dwaka Lila. So you're born with the gopis then. And then next birth, you can attain perfection. So Prabhupada, he explained many things to us because we were all babies at that time. He couldn't go deeper. Like he said, he was in the spiritual world with Krishna. If anyone's half purified, he realized you've never been in the spiritual world. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 26, text 16, it says a conclusion. What is a conclusion? It means the conclusion of everything, all Shastra and everything. The conclusion is no one falls from Vaikuntha, it's the eternal bowl. Isn't it? So how we did, but Prabhupada did preach. It's different preaching. It's something called a Paravijaya, means a power consideration and tattva. So a Paravijaya, we use that to bring big words. Like me, if I'm on the street and meet someone, oh, you're Hare Krishnas, no girlfriend, no drinking, no smoking. Then I speak a Paravijaya. Okay, no problem, have a girlfriend, drink, smoke, take the book, give me a donation. 6 weeks later, he comes to me, I want to make advancement. Okay, if you want to make advancement, stop smoking, stop drinking, chant more, and this, give up the girlfriend and follow the Bhakti regular principles, then he'll make advancement. But first of all, you would have given him tap. I'll take your book. Oh, no, don't drink, don't smoke, do this fanatical. Then you won't put them in. So Prabhupada pulled us in. Oh, you were Krishna, you become envious. If you want to look deep, yeah, you was with Krishna. You're in Krishna's body. When we first developed, when we were thrown into Tasya region. So we're in his body because everything comes from Krishna. Everything is in Krishna. But did you have an eternal love relationship? No. So we was with Krishna, but we wasn't. We wasn't having no rasa, no relationship. What we want now is a rasa relationship. So you have to look deeper and start to understand the philosophy. Because otherwise this Lokiya Shraddha, people, places and things, no, you have to understand the philosophy. Like the Siddhanta Swami Thakur said, we should always be in Vaishnava association. Now, Vaishnava means a pure Vaishnava, which is very, very rare. He has the power to make millions of universes. All the demigods reside inside him. This is a pure Vaishnava. So Bhakti Siddhanta said you should always be in Vaishnava association. You're so weak you cannot survive without Vaishnava association. If you remove yourself from the Vaishnava association, you will develop the simple mentality that we're a master. So you must be always under guidance. And nature is a subordination, isn't it? We must have a subordinate. But you have to have a subordinate who's on that transcendental level. So someone to come on the transcendental level, we use our common sense. As we become more elevated, we come to the level of magic, you'll understand some of how he speaks. The fool is not disclosed until he opens his mouth, and we understand where's this person, what situation he is. So if we're under the guidance of a conditioned soul, he's got no spiritual vibration. He's only material vibration. Okay? So how can he clean himself of his anarthas? And how can he clean himself of anything else? Now you've got so many situations going on. People are listening, watching YouTube, people giving classes and doing so many things. But where their consciousness? If you're actually conscious, you wouldn't want to go on YouTube. First of all, the Pratishta, you don't want to portray yourself. Then, you're only giving material vibration. Because in an apparatus, it's like a phone, and it's still good, it'll do some inspiration. But if you're advanced, you'll realize that you're only sending out material wavelengths. Really, if you want advancement, you'll pray and cry to Prabhupada, the Vaishnava, that I want a guru of your level, of your standard, who speaks Harikatha, pure transcendental vibration. If there's no pure transcendental vibration going into you, you've only ever had mundane vibration. Now mundane vibration, people have got good intentions, but the path to hell is paved with good intentions. You can get nothing. But who really wants Krishna? Who really wants to do and die? Want to get. So everyone at a certain level of consciousness, the symptom of us is consciousness. So we should know these levels. Am I Kanishta Kanishta? Am I Kanishta Magnum? Am I Kanishta Uttam? If not, we don't know even the baby stage. This is like, people don't want to hear this, but this is situation. We've joined the temple, we've been here for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, even 50 years, and they don't know what level they're on. Are they Kanishta Kanishta, or Kanishta Magnum, or Kanishta Uttam, or Magnum Kanishta? So if you don't know that, you don't know, we don't know nothing. And certainly you're just chanting Namaparad. And this Namaparad will just give you sensing gratification. Give you a husband, wife, friends, family. And then your mind gets absorbed in the illusion of Maya. Maya is a dream what cannot be fulfilled, isn't it? Maya presents something real to be unreal. And something unreal to be real. This is Maya's job. So you see something you think is real, this body, but really it's unreal. Because when the body dies, it burns to ashes, and then when you go to soul. So if it says something unreal to be real, and then if it says something real to be unreal, this is Maya. This is Maya's job. So we have to go deep. We have to come back down to the ABCs. This is most important thing. And understand the philosophy. Where am I? Where am I at? Where's my guardian? Who's my guru? Is he a pure Vaishnava? Is he an automatically? Have I had Paramatic Shraddha? You know what Paramatic Shraddha is? Paramatic Shraddha is your anger's gone, your greed's gone, your jealousy's gone, your selfishness is gone. This will go after hearing Harikatha from a pure Vaishnava. This is symptoms. And then that pure Vaishnava, he sees your heart, he sees your soul. He knows your truth in the spiritual world, your Nitya above. A conditioned soul will look at you, he don't know your truth. He don't know who you are in the spiritual world. He don't even know who he is. So this is the illusion, isn't it? It's not that, I get initiated by someone like that and I just chant 16 mans and follow the regs. This is baby talk. This is a power job. 16 man, and you go back to God, you know what Sunanama said, what you do, you go there, you'll fight, 16 man, and the Mathematically, he cannot chant 16 man. Only the Kadishanically. Why? Because the Mathematically, he's chanting 24 hours a day. He's speaking Harikatha, or he's chanting so much Nam, so much Bhajan for the night, only Nam. Any yagya, anything coming, there's nothing higher than Nam. Everything is Nam. But things are put here for us to help us to do other situations, because with some of us, like myself, we just can't concentrate 24 hours a day on Nam. But everything is put here nice for us, the topping on the cake, the candles, the different flavours, a few strawberries, to attract us. But really, Bhajan means the Bhajan section. Who's the Bhajan section? They're the Madhyamanicadis and the Automaticadis, and they're the real preachers. They're the one who are chanting now. So the real preachers are that situation. But now our mind, we hear some Harikatha, it's going too quick. It's going too quick, and we can't absorb it in like a sponge. Because the Madhyamanicadi, he has cities. He can see someone where they're at. And it's going too quick, but we're not absorbing it. Oh, why is this? Why is that? Because the mind is so much in passion, is so much in contamination. But when we realize if we think we can get some happiness in this material world, that means we're contaminated. When we're pure, we realize there's no happiness in this material world. And then we hear Harikatha. And if someone's here speaking Harikatha, then we have to eradicate it. We put it on the shelf, or what that person was saying was wrong, or what that person's saying right. Understand what the situation is. We have to chant pure name. This is unpalatable truth. But if you've got initiated by someone who's not a pure devotee, he never give you none. One who's got Krishna, he can give Krishna in a seed form, none. If he's not give Krishna, how can he give you? It is post-dated check. I'll give you 10 lakhs, but you've got the money in the bank. No, but I'll get it later on. Will you take that check? You've got me crazy. So understand, you cannot chant pure name if you've never been given pure name. You have to be given pure name in a seed form. This is my Guru, my Guru, my speeches, all the time. And he's got so many problems all over. Pure Sudha Vaishnava. Now he's gone, people are realizing that. But that's the situation. So we want to get that. And how you advance by chanting. By chanting yourself, what can you do? You have to be in touch with the powerhouse. The powerhouse is the pure devotee physically present, who's a Kanda Guru Tattva, who is Nityananda. Nityananda is there. Guru is one. Swami Prabhupada witness in the office, the Bhakti Sadhana. Guru is one, and he comes in many forms. Understand? Oh, Prabhupada, great Prabhupada. It's fantastic. But did you see Prabhupada? Did you know Prabhupada? You saw his sadhaka form. Did you see his sarup? Omagayan to Andishah. When you see his spiritual body, which it comes when you come to the level above, then you see his sarup, you really know who he is. This is like a very unpalatable truth. So Kanda Guru Tattva is the most important thing. Guru is one. That means the philosophy, what they say, is no different. Alright, they might apply it differently. Some are Paravajar. But when you speak Tattva, you have to speak the truth as it is, because it's backed up by Shastra. This is the most important thing. Sadhu Sangha, Sava Shastra Hoy. Sadhu Sangha, Lava Bhaksha, Sava City Hoy. One moment's association with beauty mode, everything can be realized. But who's associated? Association, does it mean with a sadhaka form? Association means with his Nishasiddha. Then, but if you're in the association of pure Vaishnava, he's looking at you, he sees your truth. You have that faith in him, he knows where you was last birth and millions of births. Even in his vicinity, When you're with him, all your practical karma, your sinful activities will slowly go. But if you're in association with a conditioned soul, it cannot take that stuff because he's full up himself. He's bitter inside. If you've got anger, greed, lust, cold in your heart, that means you're bitter. So someone who's bitter, how can you give something sweet? So this is unpalatable truth, but this is the truth. But in Kali Yuga, like myself, we're so fallen, we're so degraded, that's why you have to rely on Shastra. Then after some time, because we've got the jaundiced taste, we don't like reading the Shastra because we're jaundiced. We want to hear, oh, what's happened to this Bollywood star, what's happened to that, so many things. But when you keep reading, the jaundiced taste will come. And this nectar will come in the Shastra because you'll realize this Shastra is the words of Bhagavan or Bhagavan's parasha from the spiritual world. This is most important thing. We want to hear about Narottam Das Thakur and praying Bhakti Judan Pesha, isn't it? So many books are there. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Rasayan is telling you about Bhagavan, the 8 Astaka leaders. When you're doing your Bhagavan, you're chanting. What you're thinking of chanting, you're thinking of Mummy, Daddy, Brother, how am I going to get money? I'm going to take my kids to school this morning. No, we don't want that things to come. So when you're chanting, first you start chanting, you're chanting the name Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But the second stage of chanting, we want to do is Manasevya, in your mind, chanting in your mind. So really, you should never chant on your own. What does it mean, never chant on your own? So what you can do is you can go to Prabhupada Samadhi in your mind. You're in your house, you shut your door, really, otherwise you're not chanting, only Namaka. Then you're chanting, go to Prabhupada in Samadhi, play a basis, go auntie to it, in your mind. Shastra say that. If we do any simple activities in this Kali Yuga, we don't get no problem. Because there's some, anyway, if you do any simple activity in the mind. But if you do any service in the mind, you get benefits. So you pay a basis to Prabhupada, you do arti to him, you pay a basis, and then you might go to Gauranitai, Krishna Balaram, Radha Shama Sundar, you may do Parakam, Vrindavan Parakam, Kaliyavat, so many cases you get, go to these places. You might be in Govardhan, you go to these places in your mind, and you'll get so much power. And then you won't think of Mummy, Daddy, Brother, Sister, and the body concept. Because the first thing Prabhupada said in spiritual life is you're not the body. In your home, you put Krishna as the center, but now we put wife, son, children as the center. He's the center. Soul got no mum, no dad, no brother, no wife. You've got eternal loving relationship with Krishna, but you've got to hear this all the time. You've got to hear this from someone who's got potency. And who's got potency? The potent. And who's the potent? Shri Guru, the Sadguru, who's come from the spiritual world. This is most important thing. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, Govinda Maharaj, Nayamad, and the Vaishnavas are here. They're always on this planet. But are we interested? Are we more interested in finding out how to get 1 lakh? Are we interested to get taste in Nam? We want ruchi in Nam. So how are you going to go through Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, a Bhajana Kriya, a Nata Nariti, Nishta, then you're Madhyamadikari. You're fixed, you're strong. Then ruchi comes. Lest you hear from a pure devotee, he gives you the fuel. Lest you're associated with a pure devotee, you'll never go from Nishta to Sadhu Sangha. And a lot of people that play in practice, a lot of people are not in Sadhu Sangha. Some Shraddha come in, but where's the Sadhu Sangha? So what are you going to get? And then you see, it becomes dry. And what happens with dry wood? Soon as a match comes to it, it sets the light, and then you burn. Burn in this burning fire of material existence. This is the danger. So therefore, association is the most important thing. Oh, why he said this, why he said that? First quality of a Vaishnava is simplicity. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. Oh, why he said this, why he said that? Why is this? What's your history? What's your track record? Why have you been here so long? But most people, no, I'm senior, I've been along, I'm preaching here, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. Nothing. Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, he disapproved of anyone doing bhajan. Bhajan means chanting. Doing bhajan independently. He says, such artificial displays devoid of anigatya. And bhakti only flows in anigatya. Krishna praise only flows in anigatya. Anigatya means only guidance with someone who's got Krishna Prem? The Kanishadikari got Krishna Prem? No. A Madhyamadikari got Krishna Prem? No. The Uttamadikari got Krishna Prem. So why do you go to the Uttamadikari who's got Krishna Prem? Why are we associating with Kanishadikari? If I'm a Kanishadikari, I've got to go up. So we have to see in Kali Yoga, like myself, we're not so experienced. We don't really know. And then somewhere along the path, we got derailed in the path. So we have to come back. The I, to detect my own disqualification, is my real wealth. This is a great saying. We have to put it in practice. Where am I at? What am I doing? Am I still getting envious sometimes? My friend comes along, my mum just sent me 4 lakhs. I'm like, ooh, in my heart, a bit envious, or some greed coming, something else coming, some jealousy, some anger, some lust. Is that there? So therefore, I'm on Lokiya Shraddha, materialistic Shraddha, people, places and things. I'm influenced by them. Then, if they're Kanishadikari, what can they give you? What is it? Why are you in that relationship with them for? Only sense gratification. But this is the most important thing. This philosophy is so powerful, but we have to put it into practice. Prabhupada said that. If you want to give knowledge to everyone, but you're imperfect, you're cheater. Because you're imperfect, you can't. Everyone wants to Kanishadikari. He's here for 2 minutes, he's a big devotee, he's a big teacher, this situation, and he wants to go and preach. What can he preach? If he hasn't got Krishna, he cannot give Krishna. Some inspiring mind, but most people want to do this. I want to do this, I want. I want keeps you in the material world. This is most important situation. So we're in our heart, we're crying, I want a pure devotee. I want a manifestation of you, Prabhupada. The Guru Bhav, our Guru Bhav, are all pure devotees, aren't they? And what are they? Going deeper, I don't want to lose people now, go too deep, but what are they? They're manjaris. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come to give? Manjari Bhav. So what are we? We're manjaris. What is Srila Prabhupada? He's a manjari. He's a dear girl companion of Srimad Radharani. This is what Srila Narayana has come to give. He said, you should have no desire. I want to be a manjari. No other desire, nothing else. Because that's your truth. That's who you are. That's who you are. You're a manjari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to give manjari bhav. So, in the first page of Nectar Instructions, Srila Prabhupada says this Krishna conscious movement is going on under the supervision of Rupa Goswami, who's Rupa Manjari. This is Prabhupada's writings in his book. This Krishna conscious movement is going on under the supervision of Rupa Goswami, who's Rupa Manjari. But it's not going on under the supervision if it's not under the guidance of a pure devotee. If it's not under the guidance of a pure devotee, it cannot go on. Bhakti Bandhav Acharya Ratna says, to continue on this path, this is how we rule thyself. But if you're not under the guidance of a pure devotee, you're not on the path. You're not even continuing on the path. So continue on this path is how we rule self. But unless you're under that Shakti of Radharani and the Manjaris, you're not getting no spiritual potency, and the material potency is just coming to you and contaminating you. And you're only thinking of people, places and things, the time, I've got to go here, I've got to do this, I'm only coming to eat. Are we coming here when we come here to offer flowers to Thakurji? Krishna's here in the form, are we doing that, or are we just coming for ourselves? Can you study people, places and things? Only me. This is situation. I haven't got that purification yet to care about other people. What does a devotee do? It don't get in the way. It only cares for other people. You only keep what you have by giving away. It helps people. This is situations. You want to help, you want to carry guitar, because carry guitar is the only helpful situation. The envious he avoids. The people the same, he makes things. And he can see where they're at. But most people, because they can see the Kanishadikari in their heart, some anger, some greed, some jealousy, so he won't associate with them. Until they become more purified, he avoids them. But when they come and they're humble, and he's very forgiving, then he helps that person. But always think, oh no, I'm more senior than them, I know more, I've been around long enough them, Lord. No. Well, what's his history? Who's he heard from over the years? How's the situation now? But this is nature there. This false ego is there. Nothing can obscure us from our spiritual life. But our false ego, we're our own worst enemy. Bhakti Bandhav Acharya Ratna, the false ego. What is the false ego thing? You think you're this body. That is the situation. Mummy and Daddy made They have a baby, first thing that grows on the body, subtly, false ego, intelligence, mind, senses. So you're not the body. That's why I'm going to do this, I'm man, I'm female, I've got to do this today. Illusion, you're an illusion. You're nothing to do with the truth. You're not in contact with the soul. Why? Because you're not hearing Hari Katha. Hari Katha, everything in this world is contaminated. The only thing was not contaminated is Hari Katha coming from the blips of the pure road. Like Srila Prabhupada. When he come here, he was one man, he went all over the world on his own, and he gave Hari Katha, and his disciples moved mountains. That was the situation. And then what's come from that? So we have to carry on in that line. Because we always got to be introspective. We've all got to see ourselves in a low position, isn't it? What's the difference between me and a cockroach? I just got an different outer body. This is situation. Cockroach has got a really bad karma, bad body. But souls in him and super souls in him. But I'm thinking I'm better than him. I'm in a better situation. No, this is wrong. So that's why Bhakti Bandhav Acharya said, if one considers himself a cockroach, a worm, a germ, then, and only then, there's a possibility of auspiciousness coming. Then he says, spiritual life is a fight. A fight for what? A fight for lower ground. But everyone wants a higher ground. This is situation. This position and everything is very, very toxic. So this is most important thing. So I sorry that I sidetracked it from the Shastra. This is my fault, you know. But so anyway, one who thinks is so truly very high, one who is truly very high thinks he's so very low, because that is the situation, you know. Our mind, we think we're good, we can do so many different things. But to make advancement, we've got to come on this situation. We've got to become this, you know, when it says, you know, always think you're very low. And Prabhuji always says this, humility makes Bhagavan very strong. This life, I'm a Gaudiya. I'm a follower of Srimad Radharani, Sri Shakti. If it is not in the interest of her service, I will not talk or meet with anyone. So, this is the start of words and nectar from Prabhupada. After ignorance is dispelled and the jiva's pure continual tranquil body appears, those who are able to taste the material rasa attain a spiritual body. That's our goal. We cannot do bhajan by taking shelter of maya or conditioned souls. We can start doing bhajan when we take shelter of Chit Shakti. Vishubhanu Nandini, Srimad Radhika, is the vision of Sri Shakti. She is Mahabhav Sugrini, or Guru Bhav, our Guru Bhav and instructors on the tattva of Alini Shakti, Srimad Radharani. This way, we think that anything we do, this way, we think that anything we do is bhajan. We think that serving Maya or the jivas is bhajan. Bhajan means to serve Alini Shakti, Srimad Radharani. Then it said there, Prabhuji said, a Vaishnava sadhaka always follows in Anigatiya. If you don't learn to serve in Anigatiya, everything you do is incorrect. Greed is the only price for Raj Seva. Says consciousness, which is saturated with the mellows of Krishna Bhakti, cannot be attained even by pious activities in millions of lives. The only price is intense greed to attain this Raj Bhav. If it is available anywhere, then purchase it at once without delay. So this is what you all use have done. Full-fledged service to Krishna cannot be attained without Gopi Bhav. So it says it again. Full-fledged service to Krishna cannot be attained without Gopi Bhav. Such constant engagement in service is only possible for those who are spiritually empowered by the Guru Bhava. So this is very nice quote. Such constant engagement in service is only possible for those who are spiritually empowered by the Guru Bhava. Under the guidance of the Vaishnavas, everything is learned and appreciated. Therefore, realization is bound to come in their company. By staying with ordinary people, sadness, madness, and the desire to enjoy will only increase poverty. So I'll say this quote again, very nice quote. Under the guidance of the Vaishnavas, everything is learned and practiced. Therefore, realization is bound to come in their company. By staying with ordinary people, sadness, madness, and the desire to enjoy will only increase. So that's why we must always be in Vaishnava association, because if you're not in a Vaishnava association, you're in mundane association, asat sangha. And all really mature, mundane, material sound is coming to you. Because only in Vaishnava association does this spiritual sound come. So when you put it at grassroots level, there's spiritual sound and mundane sound. Now, if your guru's left and you're not to association or devotee of the same caliber, then you're getting mundane sound. So then you're slowly going to be lost. Someone comes around, nice, and he's preaching, but who's the other guidance? What's he doing? So the mundane sound's coming to you, then he's hurting you, he's damaging you, because he's only giving you mundane sound. Like I said, don't be a victim to material conditions. So you're only hearing mundane sound. What did mundane sound do to you? It takes you to hell. Everyone, I said, the path to hell pay with good intentions. They're doing good, but because they don't understand the philosophy, they've never had sadhu sangha, they've never been with a pure devotee, so then, therefore, they're taking maya sangha, an illusion, and those people mainly are Kanishta Adhikari, if they're Kanishta Adhikari. Because you understand the philosophy. If you understand the philosophy, Rupa Goswami says to reside in Raj under a Rasik Vaishnava. And eventually, if you've got that greed over the years or situation, eventually that will come to power. You will be in Vaishnava association. Bhakti Rasa Sridhar said, how can someone who's not established in the truth, that means Vaishnava association, how can someone who's not established in the truth take you to the truth? If he could have went there, he would have went himself. But he's got no knowledge of the truth. This is the situation. So you always got to be in sadhu sangha, and then you develop a relationship with that sadhu. How do you develop a relationship with the sadhu? This is the secret of all secrets. You develop a relationship with the sadhu who've been with you 10, 20, 30 years. You develop a relationship with the sadhukas. You serve the sadhukas, you please the sadhukas, and that pleases the sadhu. This is the most important thing. Understand? So we've got senior Vaishnavas here, we serve them, we please them. When was the last time we bought a little gift? Giving them receiving? We keep everything for ourselves. Then we're wondering why we don't get such money. You only keep what you have by giving away. The more you give, the more you get. This is just universal laws, you understand. Well, we know, we tend to be a miser, we don't want to give. So many situations are there. So we have this situation. So we're the sadhu, so we want to please the sadhu. So you please the sadhu by pleasing the sadhukas. What are the sadhukas? It's real sadhukas. There is foot dust. There is foot dust. Please his foot dust. That situation, and then you'll get his real mercy. Because otherwise, it's cheating, which is vanchana, and kripa. So what are we getting? Many people want to be positioned, want to be in a nice situation, then they get cheated. The sadhu, you can never cheat the sadhu like Krishna. The sadhu is a bigger cheater than Krishna. He knows everything. What's in your heart, what you want. Some pain, some situation. Oh, I'm doing more service than that person. I'm doing so many things. No. So the sadhu is a more cheater than Krishna. Bigger cheater. But if you're doing properly, situation. The ones who think they're near to the sadhu, they might be near, but are they dear? The ones who are away may not be near, but they're dear. Anyway, I've said too much now. I've said my case. Once you go for Juvisha, people say no, Juvisha, Pachavanam, Pavimo, Vaisonam, forgive me, I have a certain nature and a certain belief. I just, whatever things come. We've always gone getting away, try to become an instrument. But this Harikatha is very, very powerful. And we should follow it. We should dedicate our life to this Harikatha. Put it into practice. Then our fortune knows no bounds. Haribol. Or I'm just a big bluffer.
Что он в конце сказал?